what were the books really quickly?
Yep.
The books, what were they really quickly? I got kicked out of the session.
Oh my gosh. Okay, anything by Zig Ziglar. He speaks to relationships probably better than any author I've ever read. And I think I've read every book he's written. Tom Hopkins, How to Master the Art of Selling. Todd Duncan, Tony Robbins, and Michael Mayer, The 7 Levels of Communication.
Thank you.
My pleasure, man. All right, so it's Culture Monday, and I am going to share something from the Culture Code with you. And like we shared a couple of weeks ago, this works when you participate at a high level. So please be ready, because I'm going to ask for you to mastermind this conversation. This is not a lecture. This is a conversation from our Survive to Thrive community. All right, if you have Culture Code, I'm on page 55. And if you don't, just listen. One misconception about highly successful cultures is that they are happy, lighthearted places. This is mostly not the case. They're energized and engaged. So happy, lighthearted versus energized and engaged. Are they the same? They can be, but not all of the time. If you talk to anybody who visits the Coral Springs Market Center and you ask them what's one word that describes that market center, the word that you're going to hear over and over again is energy. You can feel it. When you walk in the door, you can feel the energy when you are in an environment that has great culture. Clarissa, true or true? True. Right. And by the way, you know, the jock in me, so it took me 9 minutes to get to sports, not a record. When you walk into the locker room of a winning team, you can feel it. When you walk into the locker room of a losing team, you can feel it. By the way, this is also true and really out there. There doesn't have to be anybody in the locker room for you to feel that. It could be empty and you still feel it. You feel the positive energy and you feel the negative energy. Now, I'll probably have to take a class in physics to understand why that's true, but it's true. All right. They are energized and engaged, but at their core, their members are oriented less around achieving happiness than around solving hard problems together. Around solving hard problems together. Andy Andrews in The Traveler's Gift says that adversity is preparation for greatness. Well, adversity in a workplace is adversity for greatness. And when you're facing adversity, are you solving hard problems? Say yes. Yes. And if you're part of a group, if you're part of an organization, if you're a part of a team, are you solving those hard problems on your own, or are you working together? You're working together, and together you're becoming great. This task involves many moments of high candor feedback, uncomfortable truth-telling. When they confront the gap between where the group is and where it ought to be. When they confront the gap between where the group is and where it ought to be. So I'm going to go back and read this again, and I'm going to share a little story with you really quick. This task involves many moments of high candor feedback, uncomfortable truth-telling, when they confront the gap between where the group is and where it ought to be. So raise your hand if you know who Alan Waxman is. Yeah. So Alan Waxman is the OP, operating principal for the Coral Springs Market Center, the Fort Lauderdale Market Center, and the Aventura Market Center. He's also a really good friend of mine. And Alan hired me as a team leader back in 2015. We've worked very close together for a period of 6 years. And every so often we have very candor conversations that are uncomfortable, but we're growing because we have those conversations. And he'll tell me, John, here's what I saw, here's what you said, but here's what I think everybody heard. Now, do you think I like hearing that? Say no. No. Right? If you know me and you know the DIS profile, I'm a 99D, which means I'm a driver. Now, the driver part of me could care less. I'm moving forward. Here I come, get out of my way. I'm also a 99I. Now, score stops at 100, right? So it's hard for me to be higher on that scale than 99, right? Now, how do you think the I in me feels about those candor conversations? I really don't like it, right? We've had more than one town hall meeting in the market center here in Coral Springs where I've given the leaders of the company, the leaders in our market center, an opportunity to get together as a group and tell me, what do you like? What could we do better? What am I doing that you never want me to stop doing? What am I doing that you hope I never do again? And it's uncomfortable. However, we're growing together as a group because we're having those conversations. Now it flip-flops the other way. I've had conversations with Alan and I've said, Alan, let me share something with you that I'm hearing you say. Matter of fact, you say it often, and I don't think it's getting the result that you want. Now, do you think Alan is open to those conversations?
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, you earn the right to have those conversations. If you're taking notes, write that down. You earn the right. It's why you'll hear me ask, can I coach you? Because I don't assume that I've earned the right to coach everyone. Now, there are people in my life that I have the right to, that I've earned the right to coach, and I'm not going to ask them, I'm just going to coach. Yeah, do you think the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers calls Brady over to the sideline and says, can I coach you? No, he doesn't. And it's Tom Brady. All right, let's pause. Talk to me. Raise your digital hand if you're out there in Zoom world, and if you're in my room, just talk. Okay, thank you, Yagada. Don't forget, guys, you made a promise. You were going to participate. No awkward moments of silence. Yagada, talk to me.
I think these candor conversations, like you said, they are very important and they are suggestions, and it really depends how you say it. Even if you're a driver, I think you welcome just the right way of a suggestion, right?
Yeah. Yeah, communication matters, right? And that's what I'm hearing you say, Yagada. You know, one of the questions that we ask in career visioning is, on a scale of 1 to 10, when it comes to being honest, how honest do you want me to be when giving feedback? Now, how often do you think I hear a 10? Say almost never, right? Nobody wants you to be a 10. Now, Mo Anderson is called the Velvet Hammer. The reason she has that nickname is because she's known as someone who can deliver candor and love at the same time.
Right. Very important.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, what else? Vicki, thank you.
If you reflect on where you are, you have a clear picture of where you should be to reach your goals.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have that time in your life to reflect, to really see where you are as to where you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to have a purpose.
And do we have blind spots?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so is it possible that you might have obstacles in your life that you don't even see?
Oh, yeah.
Right,
They just pop up and you don't even know that they're there.
right. And do you want to know those obstacles are there?
Oh, you can't, if you don't know that, you're never gonna get to where you wanna be.
Yeah, if you're married or in a relationship, is this a conversation you should be having with your spouse? What do you like? What do I do that you really like and you hope I never stop doing? What about me do you hope I never do again? If you're not asking yourself, what is it about me that people like? What is it about me that people don't like every single day? Then you're not growing. Okay. I'm looking for more participation. I'm just letting you know. All right, I'm going to go to the next page. Researchers discovered that one particular form of feedback boosted student effort. Now, they're talking about a study that they did within a control group of students. And in one control group, they gave them what they call magical feedback. And in the other control group, they did what everybody else does, right? And here's what they found. Researchers discovered that one particular form of feedback boosted student effort and performance so immensely that they deemed it magical feedback. Wow, Clarissa, wouldn't you like to have known this when you were an administrator at the school level? And you probably did. You probably could have written this book, right? Yeah.
You always tell teachers you need to get immediate feedback. Why give an assignment or an activity and you don't get feedback?
Yes, 100%. Yes, that's absolutely correct, by the way. One of the things that a coach does that causes them to fail is they give their clients, the people that they're coaching, homework, and then they never check the homework or never give feedback on the homework. And the thought process becomes, why should I do it? You're not even asking me for it. Researchers discovered that one particular form of feedback boosted student effort and performance so immensely that they deemed it magical feedback. Students who received it chose to revise their papers far more often than students who did not, and their performance improved significantly. The feedback was not complicated. In fact, it consisted of one simple phrase. Okay, talk to me. Agata, your hand's still up. I don't know if you took it down or it's still up, or if you're ready to jump in there again, please do.
I took it down. I'm still thinking.
Yes, Clarissa.
So I've written down, to be in a culture which thrives, you have to be able to go fluidly from coach to be coachable. Coach to be coachable. And you have to be willing to step out of the coaching position and become the one that's being coached.
Yep.
And that sometimes is very hard to do. Extremely hard to do, because you don't, it's okay, that's the administrator-teacher type relationship.
Hi, Wendy.
I know it's good to be the one to give the advice and to give the feedback. Sometimes when it's my turn to get the advice and the feedback, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to absorb it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
never know everything. You like, it's crazy. You know something and then somebody shows up last. It's like so much higher above me. It's like, what the heck? You know?
Yeah, Lucas, you're right. You never know. And you never get to a point where you know everything, nor should you want to get to that point, right? Because now what? And it's interesting because you said somebody higher above you, which I agree with, but there's, regardless of a person's position, I can learn something from everyone.
Absolutely.
Everyone.
You're so right.
Yeah. I will never get to a place where I can't learn something from you. Yeah, Millie. Rashad, I'm coming to you next, and then Yagada.
I just wanted to say it's important to know, just to different perspectives too. Like when you're saying one perspective, you're like, this is what I believe and whatever, but when you hear other perspectives, you're like, yeah, and you apply it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, be careful not to believe everything you think. Right? Be open-minded. Yeah. Rashad.
Well, I think everybody kind of said what I was going to say, so there's not
We
really
want to
much
hear you
add.
talk, so talk anyways.
But I think, yeah, to reinforce the culture and building that environment where it's encouraging for everybody and being a learning-based environment, it's very important.
Love it. Thank you. Yagada.
Yes, I agree with everybody as well. I think the magical potion is to give a feedback starts with the positive, right? Which I also do not do with my son at times because I'm too impatient. But the first positive is just to give a compliment, to appreciate really the effort that somebody's putting in, and then to ask, would they like to improve on that? And you would like to give them suggestions and help them on that. So that's the first step. That's the magic step that I still have to work on at home.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yagada. Absolutely agree. Clarissa.
And for a thriving culture,
Mm,
you have to have different people on your team. I like what she said about perspective.
mm,
I know my personality type, your personality type. I know I'm an SC. And I'm so narrow-minded. I know I'm narrow-minded. I'm black and white. I don't see gray. But I love being here in this culture because there are other people who see gray. And when they share, they give me a different way to look at it. And that's what you need
mhm,
on a team
mhm,
to have that culture.
mhm. Yeah, that's the high C in you, by the way.
It is.
Yeah, yeah. I live in the gray, right? Yeah, I absolutely live in the gray. Hey, by the way, nobody asked me. I was waiting for somebody to do that, but nobody did. So I'll fill in the blanks here. Nobody asked me, John, what's the magical feedback, right? Because they talked about magical feedback and they're like, so one of you should be going, holy cow, tell us before the call is over. Here it is. I'm giving you these comments because I have very high expectations and I know that you can reach them. I'm giving you these comments because I have very high expectations and I know that you can reach them. I would have loved to have that 20 years ago. You know, Colin is 25 years old, Lacey is 20 years old. Not that I can't use that today, but I would have loved to use that when they were growing up, right? I'm giving you these comments because I have very high expectations and I know that you can reach them. There's three simple messages that we're conveying when we're having these conversations. Number one is you are part of this group. You are a part of this group. Every single one of you that are on this Survive to Thrive call daily, which ranges anywhere from 20 to 30 people in person and on Zoom, you are part of this group. If you are an agent in the Coral Springs Market Center, you are part of my market center, part of our group. If you're part of the Waxman group, you are part of this group. If you are part of Keller Williams, you are part of this group. This group is special. We have high standards here. This group is special. We have high standards here. And I believe you can reach those standards. You are part of this group. This group is special. We have high standards here, and I believe you can reach those standards. So I know Vicky sitting to my left. Vicky, you're part of another group that I didn't mention, Capital Brothers. And I love the way Jason Caput includes Capital Sisters whenever he's talking about you. I priceless. He's such a good leader.
It was awesome.
He's such a good leader. Does the Jason Caput group have high standards?
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
yes,
If you don't know Jason Caput, guys, oh my gosh.
yes.
This is a guy that probably takes the copies off the copy machine and proofreads them a dozen times before he'll distribute it. You don't make a mistake if you're a part of the Capital Brothers. True or true?
You have to rise.
Yeah. Is it a special group?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's one of the top real estate teams in the country. Average price point of $1.5 million. They're working with clients who have super high expectations. And I know for a fact, he won't hire anyone that he can't say, I believe you can reach these standards. I mean, Vicky, I've been in business with the guy for 4 years. I've seen him interview 100 people. And you might be the only person he's hired in the last at least the last year. It's a special group. Well, so does he, by the way. He feels very grateful and privileged to be in business with you, right? Yeah, as I do. All right, closing thoughts, your turn. Accept the feedback. Thank you, Millie. Kim.
I was just going to say, John, that I was thinking the whole time that I wanted to know what the magic words were, what the magic phrase was, and I was just waiting for you to share it.
Thank you, Kim.
I'll also say this is one of the biggest growth opportunities for me is having these conversations. I'm a pretty even 50s and 60s on the disc, but you know how they give you the uncomfortable scale. And when I'm uncomfortable, my eye drops to basically 0. So I have a really hard time with conversations like this personally and professionally. So I really enjoy this conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you're doing great. We're all a work in progress.
Thanks.
Yes.
There is always room for improvement.
Yes, always. By the way, that should be your one thing. Get better. Get better every day. A year from now, I better not be the same person I am today. If I am, I failed. 2 years from now, I better be better than I am a year from now. I don't know how many more years I have left on this planet, whatever God has in store for me. But I know that my last day will be my best day. Yeah, I will go out fighting. I will go out improving. I will never stop that journey. And when I'm saying I, guys, these are just affirmations for you. It's not even about me. This whole call is about you. All right, I've got 9:30. We take a break from time to get to work on Monday. So I'm just going to close with gratitude. One of the strongest emotions, especially when we're having a conversation around culture, is gratitude. And I am grateful for you. I am grateful for the opportunity to be in business with all of you who are in business with me. I am grateful to be a part of this community. It is super special. And we've grown as a group, and I am grateful for that. Larissa.
It just hit me. I'm sorry as you're closing out, but you do know that you give us the magical feedback every day, right?
Yeah.
In your phrase, it is that magical feedback, what is work?
What is work?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Do I have high standards for you? Holy cow, yes, I do. Yes. By the way, you could fight for your limitations. It's fine if you want to, but you get to keep your limitations. I'm not going to let you fight for your limitations. I'll never stop fighting for your greatness. You could fight for your limitations. I'm fighting for your greatness. All right, we are going to jump right into practicing and role playing our